There's two changes proposed by the petition created by moving Laredo forward, but critics disagree of the effect it would have on Laredoans. Here are the arguments for and against it. Moving Laredo forward proposes Laredo go from having 8 single-member district council representatives to having 4. These 4 would go from representing about 20,000 to almost 50,000. The other 4 seats would be elected at large by the city. Supporter of these changes, Clemma Owen, says this means more representation and accountability.
If I see that council member is really not being held accountable to the district, I actually would have 4 other councilmen with whom to speak as well as the mayor. So that gives me access to 6 people.
LULAC President Roger Rocha Jr. stands against the petition. He argues it would double the workload for council members of the single districts and would lead to unequal representation at large.
If you wanted to run for, as an example, let's say an at-large position, you would need over $100,000 because it's a citywide election. Are you going to have that money if you're coming from South Laredo or maybe Central Laredo or anywhere else? The answer is no.
One part of the petition addresses district representation, the other addresses specifically the mayor and what duties come with a seat. Currently, the mayor can add items on the agenda because City Council approved that authority in the procedural manual. But Council could take this duty away if the changes aren't cemented in the city charter as proposed by the proposition. It would also allow the mayor to make a motion during council meetings. Right now, Mayor Pete Saenz says if at least 2 council members don't motion to enter into discussion on an item he's placed on the agenda, it dies. Democratic Party Chair Alberto Torres is concerned with the last change addressing the mayor's veto power.
What if the incorrect person gets into the mayor's seat, where now this individual has a lot of power?
The changes would require 6 votes to override a veto, compared to the 5 needed now. Mayor Pete Saenz says it's a reasonable change.
So it takes 5 votes to bring an action, and then if the mayor vetoes, basically it stands to reason that the same 5 would say we're against the mayor.
There are some people who agree with only one of these proposed changes. If enough signatures are collected and these propositions go on the November ballot, you will be able to vote on each of these separately. For KGNS News, Valerie Gonzalez.